Welcome. Thank you for taking up some of your evening to be with me here tonight. My name is Simone Woodland. I am the founder and I'm also a resident of the Takaka Co-housing neighbourhood. And yeah, I'm just going to talk you through a little bit about what co-housing is, the benefits of co-housing, co-housing principles, a little bit about what we're doing here, what's on site already, what's coming, and how you can get involved if this is something that you want to be part of. So what are the benefits of co-housing? I can only talk from my own personal experience. I've been living in co-housing for 2 years now. Um, I One of my favorite things to do is to look out of my window and see people that I love having amazing interactions just outside of our front door. Yeah, I feel like I have family here. So I'm from the UK originally, and the feeling that my children have like aunties and uncles and grandparents here that are not their direct birth family, but are actually feel like and act like family. They look after us when we're sick. They will babysit when I need them to, as in right now, my children are being babysat by somebody in the community so that I can be here with you this evening to give this presentation. Um, as soon as I moved in, I gave birth to my youngest, and she um, was a wonder. She was the youngest community member at that time, and we had so much care and love from everybody around us. It was kind of incredible. We didn't cook for a couple of months. People would just come and take our washing away. They would come and do our washing up, check in on us, do our shopping for us. Yeah, it was just incredible the amount of care and love that we received in that moment. Um, and I think what's really great about co-housing is that everybody here knows my name. Everybody here knows my children's names. They know our history and our stories. My child, I have a 6-year-old and she's often out playing with the other kids. And I know that I don't need to have eyes on her. We've got a beautiful park-like environment for her to run around in, and 34 households with people who take an interest and a care over her. They know her name. They know if she falls over somewhere and cries for me where I live, my name, and can help her get to me. So there's just so many beautiful benefits of living in community. We just had Matariki. We had a beautiful ceremony. We talked about our ancestors, and a lot of us were crying, and it was just such a beautiful connecting moment that you just wouldn't have with your neighbors generally. Having a common house where we can come together for meals, we can come together to have conversations. We have quite a lot of fireside chats. So we just sit by the fire and talk about topics that are happening in the community as well as maybe in the world. And there's just loads of beautiful moments to connect. So my walk from my house to my car takes me about 30 seconds. And I will guaranteedly see 2 or 3 people in that time. I might just say hi. I might stop and have a chat. I might, have a cup of tea, depending if I'm on my way out or if I'm on my way back in. Um, yeah, and it's just a beautiful way to live where you feel like you belong somewhere. That's my experience of living here is I feel very much rooted in this place. I feel very connected to the people that I live with. And because we come together to work on the land together, I feel connected to the whenua here too. I also live in a very beautiful, non-toxic home. So it's a very healthy home. We've used non-toxic materials. We thought about designing the homes to capture sun. We're really looking at how we can, with every build that we build, how we can level up the amount of sustainability, making sure that it's energy efficient, adding solar energy. Yeah, we're just trying to make it the best buildings they can possibly be and make them more natural as well as we go. I'm just looking at the list here in front of me to see if I need to say any other things. Intergenerationality. So our community goes from babies. We had a newborn born last month, or month old now. And then we have everything all the way up to 80s. So we have a really intergenerational community. We didn't have any sort of 20-year-olds when we moved in, but because we have 6 rentals here, we now have groups of 20-year-olds living here too. So we've really got the full spectrum, and I think that's just wonderful. for me personally, to have connections with people of all those different ages, from learning skills about how to grow things in my garden from my elders, and my children having amazing interactions with the like 20-year-olds here who want to do creative projects with them and fun things. And yeah, there's just always these different overlaps of connection that happen, especially with things like community meals or community celebrations, where we all come together and yeah, connect in those really meaningful ways. So, what is co-housing? Um, I own my own home. I have a private space, but I also share land in common, which means that we need to make decisions about that land together. That land includes buildings like the common house, how we sort of manage that and how we run that space together. It's a group of like-minded people. So I would say that what we share in common is that we want to have deeper relationships with our neighbors. We don't all vote the same way. We don't all think the same way about things. In fact, we can be quite across the spectrum about different things. And that's okay because we're here to live in that complexity and live with that range of opinion and learn from each other and be curious and open to each other's views rather than everyone who lives here must be like this. You know, I don't think that's a fair representation of reality of community. I think it's we need the difference in each other to learn about the world. What it is not is a commune. We don't have a leader. We use sociocracy, so that means that everybody has the ability to have power, if you want to use that word, but power over some part of the community is running. And we share that as a community across everybody who lives here. It's similar to a papakāinga, as in there's homes and then there's a common space, which would be a marae and a papakāinga, but we don't have the same Māori tikanga that a papakāinga has. Yeah, and we don't have to think the same way. In fact, we're all very different from different walks of life. And what makes it interesting living here is that we're all together. So there's some main principles of co-housing. One I've already mentioned, we keep the cars to the outside. It creates that beautiful park-like environment for our children to run around. It feels like we live in a parkland, and that's just, you know, a beautiful place to be. It also encourages walking. It encourages riding a bike. We're about 10 minutes walk from the town centre of Takaka here, so it's really easy to not pick the car because the car is not by the house, whereas you can walk straight out to the community or you can bike out. And also with having the car park away from the homes, it does create those bump spaces, those little moments of connection. And I think that really gives everybody an opportunity to connect with people and ask, you know, oh, yeah, I heard your mum was not well. Is she still okay? And just those little things that, you know, keep the connection between us going. We share assets, so we share some really big things like the common house and the workshop, but we also share small things. So we have 2 lawnmowers in this community, not 34. We share tools, we share craft things, we share all kinds of smaller objects that people have donated to the commons. And then we also share the land. So because we share these assets in common, we also need to make decisions together. So we have a consent-based decision-making process, which means, is it good enough to try? That's what we're aiming for. We're not aiming for, does everybody solidly agree with this proposal? Is like, does everybody feel safe enough to try this? Is it within our window of tolerance where we all feel okay to allow this proposal to go ahead? So we use sociocracy. So we have multiple circles of governance essentially, and all of those circles are interlaced. So there might be a circle for how we run the land, or a circle for how we run the body corp as a kind of administration for the body corp levies. And you pick which circle you want to be part of to contribute to. And it might be based on your interest, it might be based on your skill set. And essentially you are part of a circle, and I meet with my circle once a month. And we help tick that little thing along, and we report back to the wider community about what's going on in that circle so that it's a very transparent process where everybody has access to what's happening in different places. And co-housing is really about embracing community. So it's about collaboration. It does mean that things move a little slower than if you had your own property and it was just your own place and you could decide to plant a tree over there. We do have our own gardens, so we have our own associated garden space to our homes. In my garden, I can plant what I like as long as it doesn't impact somebody else. If I'm going to plant a very large tree, I probably need to talk to the people who that's going to impact. So that might be my next door neighbor, it might be my whole 4 houses around me, but mostly my garden, I can do what I want to do in my garden. And then there we have shared gardens, and then we talk collectively about how we might manage those, from growing food to planting trees to having open space, a fire pit, a playground, all the things that are collectively owned and part of the commons. So why Golden Bay? I first came to Golden Bay in 2013 and fell in love with not just the natural beauty of this place and the mountains here, but also the people that are here. So it's a very community orientated place already. So bringing more community to it seemed really natural. We have the Abel Tasman National Park on one side, the Cohousing on the other. It means we have an endless supply of hikes, walks, kayaking. We have so many beautiful beaches to walk. My children are very spoilt when they leave the house to the beach. I'm like, which beach do you want to go to? And they have a choice of, I don't know, maybe five. They're about a 10-minute drive from us that all have different advantages for different things, depending on what you want. There's a really great sense of community here. A lot of people already thinking about sustainable living. How do we live more in more harmony with the earth? And yeah, and we pretty much have everything you could need here in Takaka. It's a small township, but it has a chemist. We have a doctor's. We have plenty of schools with 3 primary schools, high school, and lots of little shops. I probably need to go over to sort of Motueka or Nelson maybe once every 2 months or something. I don't know. It's also good to get out of the bay sometimes. But mostly everything you could possibly need is right on our doorstep, really. So this is the master plan for the development that we have. We have I don't know if you can see my cursor, but this is neighborhood one. Neighborhood one has been built already. It's already fully sold. We all live here. I've been living here nearly 2 years. We are building 2 smaller neighborhoods, with neighborhood 2 coming online first. Hope to be delivered in 2027. We have some sections. There's just standard sections. They're not community, not like co-housing. It's very different. It's more recognizable what a section sale looks like. And then this land all the way around the neighborhood, we have reserved using a community land trust called Te Hapari Hauora, to ensure that the land thrives. So we'll be looking at land regeneration, we're looking at sustainable education. That's trying to educate people on how to maintain and sustain land, and also think about maybe sustainable building practices and yeah, maybe market farms, different ideas of what could possibly happen on the parkland. We just got a $33,000 grant to do an independent study of what does Golden Bay need from this piece of land and what does this piece of land need to thrive. So we're working on that too. We hope to have some sort of community building, commercial building on the corner here eventually, and that's close to the high school there and on the corner of the site. So our first neighborhood is complete. We have 34 homes in our first neighborhood. Yeah, it's a unit title model. So unit title model works where I own my own home and the land directly underneath my home. It means that I can sell my house. I can get a mortgage for my home. It's a very standard unit title model. It's generally used for apartment buildings or yeah, that type of thing. We have 54 adults and 15 children living on site. I think there might be 55 adults now, but it's around that number. And I own a 34th of the commons. So I get a vote of a 34th of what happens on the commons when it comes to voting on proposals or things like that. So what's available in the next neighborhood? So the next neighborhood only has 18 homes, just one larger cluster rather than the 3 clusters we had for neighborhood 1. There are 8 2-bedrooms and 10 3-bedrooms. You can see the red ones have already been reserved. We're just going through the process with those 8 people to buy those homes now. We're hoping to have the rest of the homes sold by November. There are also another neighborhood. Oh, those dates are wrong. So the neighborhood 2 is available in 2027, and neighborhood 3 will be available in the future. I think we've going to put that on pause for a little bit and to make sure that this neighborhood goes ahead. We also have sections available on Mehana Street and Rotatai Road. Some of those have already been reserved. But if you're interested in those, you can contact me after. So this is the two different house units that we have available. There's a 2-bedroom home. Again, all of these homes have bathrooms and kitchens. They're a fully independent home. The 2-bedroom home is a single-story building that is built for accessibility, so it has slightly wider doors to make sure that people can live there for a long time. We have the 3-bedroom units, which are double-story. They have a bathroom and a bedroom on the ground floor, and then 2 bedrooms and a bathroom on the top floor, which again allows for people to live in their homes for a long time if, say, the stairs become a problem in the future. The price here doesn't just cover your home, it covers the common house, the common land, it covers the community solar project, which will hopefully reduce everybody's power bill by about 30%. And yeah, the workshop, the car park, everything on the common land is included within the house price. So we're hoping to build the next neighbourhood out of hemp. We used hemp for the common house in neighbourhood 1. There's an image of the common house there. The common house for neighbourhood 2 does look very different to this. But if you're interested in that, I can show you images of that at a later date. But yeah, we're hoping to use these hempcrete panels for all of the homes, bringing natural materials into the housing and really helping to create sustainable designs for the next neighbourhood. So how can you get involved? You can reserve a home in the neighbourhood. We're asking people to move to sale and purchases quite soon because we're hoping to have all the homes sold in November so that we can stay on timeline. But to reserve a home at this stage, it's a $100,000 loan, and that loan converts into your deposit. We also have land and house packages available and sections on Rotatai Road. And we also take investment. So we ask for 30% equity for deposits and 70% in, we have secured a Kiwi Bank construction loan for the other 70%. So when you buy your home, you pay 30% deposit, and then we complete the construction, and at the end you pay the final 70%. So this is the process if you're interested in getting involved. I have a look at the website and the blog. There's quite a lot of information on there. And you complete an expression of interest form, which is on the homepage. That just tells us a little bit about you and what you're interested in. And then you'll probably have a one-to-one with me or another team member. And then if you're happy to continue, then we ask for a 100K loan. We do have monthly hui, so the 8 people or the 8 households that are involved already, they're already meeting online once a month, talking about how they want to live together. What do we do about renters and pets, and deciding how they want to run their own community. We do allow people to come and visit one of those meetings before they decide to sort of reserve a home. And then we ask people to sign all of the agreements and the sale and purchase agreement and pay the deposit, and then we will build the homes and you can move in. The construction timeline at the moment looks like this. So we have gained resource consent now for the next development, so that's great. We're currently in the process of getting the building consent done for the infrastructure. So we're hoping to have that back soon. We're asking people to put down deposits on their homes. If all of that comes through, we can start civil work in December. And that will mean that we're in a construction mode throughout 2026. And then hopefully by May 2027, neighbourhood 2 will be complete and people can move in. The great thing about what we do is we build community before we build the building. So as soon as you move in, you know everybody that you're living with. Not only do we do monthly check-ins online, we also do a 6-monthly hui in person. So we do a 3-day hui in Golden Bay, and that's a really great way to connect with your potential future neighbours.